welcome to another RSR. Tonight we have a double RSR. First of all, we will be reviewing Ahly 0, Inter Miami CF 0, FIFA Club World Cup 2025 Group A, as well as reviewing Mexico 3, Dominican Republic 2, CONCACAF Gold Cup 2025 Group A. Both tournaments started one after the other, had two live streams, but a double review when I probably should have done both a double live and double review. But that's life. That's life. Ahly SC 0, Inter Miami CF 0, la Mundial de Clubes de la FIFA, fase de grupos, Grupo A. Y México 3, República Dominicana 2, en la Copa Oro de la CONCACAF, fase de grupos, Grupo A. First of all, we'll talk about Ahly and Miami. 0-0 at the half, 0-0 medio tiempo. Miami was not the better team tonight. They were lucky that this game was a draw. First half, Ahly was the better team. Oscar Ustadi was making save after save after save, and found a way to get the save on the penalty from Trezeguet. He made the save, and Miami goes to the half 0-0. With that being said, could have been better, could have been worse. Miami probably deserved a little bit better after the second half, but El Shaarawy was making save after save after save in the second half. It kind of flipped. Ahly were the better offensive team in the first half. Miami had a couple of moments, but Ustadi was making a lot of saves to keep Miami in it. Second half, Miami had a lot of offensive chances, and El Shaarawy was making save after save after save. And honestly, I think his goalkeeping performance was a little bit more quality. That's why I have him as the man of the match, Mohamed El Shaarawy, man of the match. His goalkeeping performance, I think, was harder and more exceptional to get this game to a 0-0 draw at full time. Messi had his moments. Segovia looked pretty good. Fafa Pico looked solid. Suarez had a couple of good corners. Other than that, Miami, they looked good offensively. Ahly, they looked solid offensively. Trezeguet looked good. I think they looked worse because Imam Ashur came off early with an injury to his shoulder, his upper body, somewhere around here. I don't know exactly what it was, but he was crying, so it doesn't seem good. Doesn't seem good. Full-time stats, 11 shots to 12, 8 shots to 4, 44% possession to 56% possession, 384 pass to 485, 89% pass accuracy to 87% pass accuracy, 11 fouls to 11, 2 offside to 0, 1 yellow card to 4, 0 red cards to 0, 4 corners to 10, 0-0 esta noche, 0-0 full-time. Miami had their moments, but Ahly was the better team. I think Ahly, we expected this to be a draw. I expected this to be a draw. You look at my predictions, I was like, you know what? I feel like this is going to be a draw. Now, was it the way I expected it to be? Like Miami actually earned the draw? No. I actually thought the referees would hand them a draw. Like some questionable things happen, a questionable penalty, a questionable offside that wasn't offside, and that's why it's a draw. No, Miami actually earned this one. Miami had a very solid match. They earned this draw. Lots of goalie saves on the first half. They had their chances in the second half. El Shaarawy saved a point for Ahly as well. Miami could have won this game, even though I don't think they were the better team. I don't think they were the favorite, but they could have won this against the run of play. And the later this went, that's kind of how I was expecting it to go. A late goal, either team wins the game. That did not happen. Ahly was close very late. Miami was close very late. This game was a very action-packed 0-0, which is rare, but it happens, and that's what this was. This kind of reminded me of that Seattle-Ahly game where Ahly beat Seattle 1-0, except I think Ahly was the better team, so Ahly's fans won't get pissed at me this time. But Miami's better off in this group than I thought they were. That's what I will say. they have a better chance to do something in this group than I thought they did coming in. They actually have gained some form back. Palmeiras, I think they can. If they play like this, they can beat. They can beat Porto if they play like this. Ahly should still win this group. That's what I believe. But if Miami plays like this their next 2 games, I think they could not win this group, but get a second place position and do enough to advance, which would change my predictions. But that's football sometimes. Sometimes a team surprises you. Sometimes they bounce back in form at just the right time to get back in to a position of actually doing something. Ahly saved a point. Even though they were the better team, that second half was very, very nerve-wracking, especially on the defensive end. Miami was really pushing, and it seemed like they were going to score. Even though they were not the better team, it seemed like they were going to score. And I thought they were. I thought they were going to score. They didn't. I thought they were. Now, you look at this game and you're like, yeah, Miami was solid, Ahly was good. I think that's what it was. And both teams were a very good match for each other, and they both played a very good game of football. It's what you would expect. Now, you would hope that Miami builds on this, and you would hope that Ahly has better games than this. Well, games they actually score in. Better is subjective. Score in, right? You would hope so. With that being said, you look at the football and you're like, okay, I get it. I see it. And that's how this goes. Sometimes you just got to find the answer. And nobody did. Now, on the other end, there was an answer found. But for that, we got to go to the part 2 of this video. So let's throw it over. And we're back for the Mexico 3, Dominican Republic 2 Gold Cup review. Mexico 3, República Dominicana 2, la Copa Oro. Let me tell you, Mexico did not look solid tonight. They got a bit lucky. Dominican Republic actually had a pretty good game. They weren't the better team, but the moments that the DR had, man, they were playing well against the run of play. If only they had a better defense when it came to set pieces and corners, well, really just corners, they would have won this game. They would have won this game. Edson with a header goal. Edson heads it onto the head of Cesar Montes. It goes in. 2 header goals. They let Raul through. Can't really do that. It's Raul Jimenez FC you're playing. They're lucky they won. They got the 3 points, but it wasn't pretty. Let's be real. Goals were scored as follows. 44th minute, Edson Alvarez scores. Ball crossed in on the corner. Edson heads it in near post. 1-0, 1-0. And the DR were slightly the better team at times in the first half. Now, Mexico were still Mexico. They still had the bulk of the ball. They had the bulk of the chances. But the DR shut them down defensively for 44 minutes of the 46 with the 1 minute of stoppage time. They shut them down for 44, 46 minutes. Now, the bad thing is they let them score late into the half, right before halftime. You can't really do that, but you see how the DR played this game? They played well against the run of play. They had some really good movements forward. The problem is they didn't have the finishing to make this game look better for them. They could have finished a couple of goals in the first half, let alone they did in the second. But the first, they could have finished some. This could have been a draw. Honestly, I think it should have. Whether it was 3-3 or more like a 2-2 draw, I thought the DR would score a goal. in this game. I said 3-1 before it. I said 3-1 on my Gold Cup predictions. The thing is they did better than that. They showed out. The sad part is 1-0 down at the half. 1-0 medio tiempo. And then they allow one right at the start of the second, which is also bad. Getting double hit like that, bad. Raul Jimenez runs through, has the ball. You can't do that. Gets it off of a play forward, runs through with it, takes a shot in through the legs of Valdez. Nutmegs him 2-0, 2-0. You can't do that. It's Raul Jimenez FC and you let him get a chance. You can't do that. Bad job. Bad job. 2-0, 2-0. And that's when it was like, this game might not go so well. I think they may have blown their gasket. But 51st minute, Peter Gonzalez gets a goal for the Dominican Republic. Ball's thrown in. It falls to Peter Gonzalez. He takes a run to the far near post for him, far post for Malagon. Takes a shot low, bounces over the foot of a defender. Think it was Montes. In through, curls in past Malagon. He couldn't get to it. What a low laser of a shot. Beautiful goal by Peter Gonzalez. Plays for Getafe, 22 years old. What a player he is. 2-1, 2-1. I said the DR would score. They did that. And my 3-1 prediction looks pretty good. 2 minutes later, I got my prediction right. Ball crossed in off another corner. Edson Alvarez heads it onto the head of Cesar Montes and ahead of a DR defender. It goes into the net off of Montes. It's 3-1, 3-1. I say it's a half of a goal for Edson, so you really got 1.5 goals tonight, but Cesar has half of it. That's the way I would say. Like it's a half sack, you know? It's kind of like a half sack in NFL. It's like 2 guys helped sack the quarterback, but one guy did more than the other. You know, half sack, but still a half sack. Half goal. Edson gets half, Cesar Montes gets half. That's not how this works, but that's the way I say how it should. Gets it. Beautiful. Well, it wasn't beautiful. It was pretty ugly, but 3-1, 3-1. My prediction came true, but 14 minutes later, 67th minute, Edison Azcona scores, gets the ball in through the legs of 2 Mexican defenders. He was locked down, and he still took the shot and said, screw it, I'm going to make something happen. Takes a shot, past the goalkeeper, past 2 defenders' legs, nutmegs 2 defenders. Edison Azcona, the Las Vegas Lights man, gets the goal, 67th minute. 3-2, 3-2, and sadly, that would be it. Full time, 3-2, 3-2. Mexico wins by the skin of their teeth. Dominican Republic kept pushing after that second goal. They had all the belief in the world, and Mexico really didn't score. Their offense looked dry. Besides the 2 header goals, 2 bad corner markings by the DR, and Raul being Raul. If Mexico weren't so lucky, they would have lost this game. A 2-2 draw, I think, would have been fair. Hell, 3-3 would have been fair. The later this game was going, I was kind of rooting for the DR to get that draw, even though I said 3-1. They outperformed what I expected them to. Like, I did not expect the Dominican Republic to be that good. Yeah, they did scare Guatemala. The last time we talked about them on this channel about a week ago, or whatever it was they scared the Guatemalans. They made Hagen look bad. Letting Messi score howlers, fine. It's whatever. Letting Dominican players score howlers is bad. That looks bad. And that's when I thought, hey, this team might be for real. But they were howlers. And then they actually scored 2 pretty good goals against Malagon. Club America, Luis Malagon. They scored against Malagon. Huh? You should not be scoring the goals you scored against Malagon. Amazing goals, but he normally saves those. I've seen him save things like that. In both cases. Y'all, I mean, jeez, man. Like, you would think. You think he would, but he didn't. Ends 3-2, 3-2. What a play. What a game by the DR. Man, I wish they got more out of this. I wish they got a point out of this. They honestly deserved it. Mexico looked sad. They looked so out of pace. They started a tournament bad once again. Sloppy once again. The only time I've seen them start a Gold Cup or Copa, a tournament like that, on time was the Honduras game 2 years ago. And everybody forgets about that because the freaking Jamaica game a year ago, which basically seemed like a Gold Cup game, even though it was a Copa starter, 1-0. So, first impressions aren't so good for Mexico when it comes to these tournaments. The longer ones, the group stage ones. Now, if it's the Nations League, well, technically they did lose in Honduras twice when they first appeared in the quarterfinals. And then won the second leg and got to the knockouts, and then when it was that way. So, technically, they still do there when they finally show up. So, if only for that Honduras game during the Gold Cup 2 years ago. They don't start well. Full-time stats are as follows. 15 shots to 12, 9 shots on goal to 5, 62% possession to 38% possession, 578 passes to 339, 86% pass accuracy to 84%, 9 fouls to 12, 1 offside to 2, 2 yellow cards to 3, 0 red cards to 0, 5 corners to 2. Mexico, honestly, they're lucky this wasn't just a point, if not 0. Now, I'm not saying Dominican Republic were the better team, but man, if they were more clinical and better defensively on set pieces, they would have won this game, if not drawn it. Dominican Republic are unlucky. Mexico is lucky. If they could finish better, if they finished at a better clip, they would have won this game. Dominican Republic. I believe that. The way they were playing, they put their hearts on their sleeves. I expected so much less out of them, and they exceeded my expectations. I expected more out of Mexico, and they very much went under my expectations, to the point I'm giving man of the match to Peter Gonzalez. Yes, I am. Because he deserves it. The way he played, he deserves it. Peter Gonzalez, Dominican Republic, man of the match. They may have lost, but you gained my respect. You gained my respect. That's what you do. You play with heart, you gain my respect, even if you lose. If you play with heart, so be it. Sometimes it doesn't go your way. But if you play with heart, I'll be like, you tried. Play with heart, you tried. You don't, maybe a certain former Leaf number 16 could learn a lesson from that. For his new team, of course. You play with heart, I'll respect you. Even if you lose. You try, you play with heart, I'll respect you. If you don't try and you let your team wither away and lose and look like punks, I don't respect you. I gained all the respect in the world for Peter Gonzalez in this game. He's a damn good player. He had a really good performance. Man of the match. Because nobody on Mexico deserves it. I can tell you that much right now. With that being said, there you go. Dominican Republic very much outshot my expectations. Overshot my expectations. Mexico undershot them. Do better. With that being said, there you go. If you like this video, like it, share, subscribe. You know what it is. Tell your friends. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell notification once subscribed. Send some chats on the live streams. Comment on this video. Put this in playlist. Share with friends and family. All that great stuff. I will see you tomorrow for 4 streams. For 5 games and 1 review. We start with Bayern Munich versus Auckland City at 11 a.m., 2 p.m., PSG Atletico Madrid, 5 p.m., USA Trinidad, just live streams. 9 p.m., we do a double again, but this time actually a double with a double review. We have Seattle Botafogo leading into Costa Rica Suriname. We review both games once they're over in a double review. 4 streams, 5 games, 1 review. We got a busy Sunday. Not a lazy Sunday, a busy Sunday, a busy Domingo Futbolero. The summer of Domingo Futbolero, the big ones. We got a present for you, and we'll be back tomorrow. It's going to be fun. I'll see you later. I'm Ryan, and I'm out. Peace. See you later.